Hi, thank you for joining us this month with the Small Business Seminar Series with Jock Consulting. We're talking with Justin Ivey, Reverend Justin Ivey of Beulah Missionary Baptist Church. We've actually known each other for a very long time, and I think we've watched each other grow up and grow into great things.
That's correct.
Justin is a self-employed business owner. How long have you been a business owner?
I've been business owner as graduated in '99 from Barber school, so since 2000 I've been self-employed.
Okay. And how would you suggest this type of employment, or would you say go corporate?
It would just, in my opinion, depend on just kind of what you're looking to get out of your career. I mean, I like the flexibility of the self-employment. I like the fact that you kind of are your own boss and make your own schedule, but then there's a downside to being self-employed, health coverage and health benefits. Way before Obamacare was even a question, we've had to pay for our own benefits. We didn't have any. Corporate, I was not or haven't been a corporate type of person.
Okay.
Mentality, yes, as far as like how I run a business or how I handle my business, but as far as being corporate and coming into an office or a cubicle and working from 9 to 5, I didn't like that lack of flexibility.
Okay.
So for me, this was better for me when I started at age 20, and I enjoy it still. I am transitioning into a different type of career.
Okay.
So I will still always probably be a barber to some extent and be self-employed in that arena, but what I lack with healthcare and just the stability of a consistent paycheck every week, 2 weeks, once a month, however it comes. I mean, that's one thing to consider, and that's one thing I'm considering as far as when I have a family.
Okay.
And,
yeah.
So.
That usually makes the difference, having a family versus being a single individual, running your own business. Those benefits are necessary.
Yes, they are.
So how long have you been in business?
Since 2000.
So how many years is that?
That's 13 years. 13
years, wow. So it is gonna be a transition to go from being self-employed to being employed by somebody and having to clock in. But I think nowadays it's important to have a side hustle, or a side business, to be more politically correct.
Right.
So this as far as your barbering will never be not a part of your life.
Yeah, I think I'll always be a barber to some capacity. I'll always cut hair. I mean, it's a good side hustle. It's a good way to make money. It's something I'm comfortable. I have a passion for it.
Okay.
So as long as, like you mentioned, I'm a minister, so depending on where God leads me, it's really based off of how that kind of works out, what direction God leads me in. If He wants me to have these dual roles as a barber and working for somebody, and then also being a minister, and if that's where He wants to utilize me, and says, I need you to stay as a barber because you need a minister, and that's one way to minister as you're cutting hair and getting to know and networking.
Yes.
But, He may say, okay, I need you to stop that now, and I need you to go into this and put more energy into this. So,
Yeah, okay.
to answer your question, I see me still cutting hair in some capacity.
Yes. I think God makes us all multi-talented, and that's a blessing, because if, one day, barbering is just not filling the void, then you can move on to something else, and that's just a blessing to me. So,
yes.
Well, this month we're discussing the SWOT analysis, which is S.W.O.T, which stands for Strengths, Opportunities, Weaknesses, and Threats. And it is important as a business owner to understand those 4 elements of your business as well as your competitors. It helps you understand where you stand in your field of business. So as a barber, I'm pretty sure, especially after 13, 14 years, you've had to analyze your competition from various levels, and then understand how you can compete with them.
Right.
So have you had an instance where you had to identify your strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats?
Yes, I have had those situations come and arise in my life and my career. I mean, one example is just moving to a different location. Me being here, this is my 5th location in the last 13 years.
Okay.
Been here a couple months. With that, I'm looking at the area that I came to before I come to the area. What type of traffic and business and clientele will that area draw? How can I use that area to draw my clientele? And the clientele that I previously had, will they feel comfortable? Is it centrally located? Is it easy to get to? Is it accessible to the highway? Then as far as competition, what other barbershops are in the area? Scouting those barbershops and kind of getting an overall feel for how long they've been established, what type of clientele base they have, the location they're in. Are they more visible than my shop? And even looking at how they promote, Instagram, Facebook. I may look at their Instagrams and Facebooks and just to see how they're doing over there and what I could do differently. Maybe the days they're open on Monday, close Tuesday. Right. Then I may, to offset that or to offer an edge to draw clientele, I'll open on Tuesday. So kind of just seeing how that works and how those other businesses in my area are running, so I can figure out how to find my niche in there. So
okay. So when you first started out in business, did it bother you that you had to analyze your competition, or was there any hesitation? I know that some business owners think that you shouldn't be competitive, or especially those have not been in the field for very long. But did you have any hesitation as far as being competitive? I mean,
for me, no. I've always grown up with that type of competitive go-getter edge. Playing basketball in high school, excelling in basketball and sports, and
being a twin does that too. Also.
Right. Being a twin. So just being competitive is in my nature. This is who I am. Not to a flaw. I don't think I'm overly competitive to where I can't accept a loss, or because I build off of a loss or a learning situation, or I'm not overly competitive to where I'm a hater. Right. Never been a hater.
Never. I don't think in business, you can truly be a hater and be successful. Eventually you will fall. There's a pride before the fall.
That's true.
So, and that's right. You did play sports growing up as well as an adult. Is that correct?
Correct.
What type of sports did you play?
Basketball.
That's right. Okay. I do remember that. Your dad was always, and I'm speaking of Dr. Pastor Reverend Ivey, John B. Ivey. He always spoke very highly of his sons, and especially Justin and his sports. So, so I know that sports helps businesses have a competitive edge, even in charity work. Do you see yourself as a part of your business one day? Is that being a part of your strength? Is providing some sort of
give back to the community.
Give back to the community, yes.
Well, I've done previously in my years of Barber, and I've done things like go to nursing homes and will cut their hair, or run a special for. I even run specials now for. There's a lot of single mothers with children, and paying for haircuts can be expensive, and I'll run specials, or even just do it for free. Have a thing at my church where I'll say on Saturday from 4 to 8, I'm cutting hair for the people who can't really afford or don't have the transportation to get to. So doing stuff in the community as far as like doing outreach things and helping kids, because it's still, I'm also a minister, like I said before, so that's kind of like that role that part of my life comes into like giving back to the community and doing things. And so yes, I do like to use this talent that I have to. I used to work at CPS for 5 years, from 2006 to 2011, and when I was there, I had a lot of times I would cut the children's hair, or have the principal set up a day where I can just cut all the kids' hair that I could get in that day.
Oh wow!
Just to help them out, because I knew they couldn't afford a haircut. I knew I had the credentials to give them something that they would like and that they would appreciate.
Well, I'm sure that